to scoot back and fit here, but we've got kind of a major issue because I forgot about it, and it's, I installed everything. Welcome back to the workbench where we try to make things, and what we're trying to make right now is Revell's 1971 Mach 1 Mustang, and this is for the Blue Ox Model Shop's Street Machine group build. And it's been a while since we've gotten together. We've had technical difficulties in the background here at the channel, but I have been getting some work done in the background. I thought we'd take a look at that, get a quick update. Starting with the body, I think that's what most people like to see. What's going on with the body? What's going on with the paint? How's that looking? Well, it's not changed much, as you can see. The plan is to start polishing it, but before I did that, I wanted to start fitting some of the pieces together. So that's what I've actually was doing, is I've touched up the paint. Let me bring this down below here so you can see it a little better. I don't know if you remember, there was a few spots I needed to touch up on the paint here on the front grille, which I've gotten done now. And then I thought what we could do somewhat together. Let me see if I can get these, get it fitted together. And I want to make sure, before I move forward, I guess, I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but it's the way I think. Before I move forward anymore with working on the body, I want to make sure everything kind of fits together. It lines up and fits together. I think that's how that goes there. Those, I know, have a spot they're supposed to fit into. There's little tabs right here that pop in. It seems like it's in, yeah, seems like it's where it needs to go. I wanted to make sure the hood fit also, because I do want the hood to fit, obviously. Which, yeah, it's actually, yeah, it fits snug, I guess, which is what we want. See if I can slide it into place. Wow, it fits very snug. I guess that's from all well, I don't guess. It is from all the clear. It has it fitting very snug, but I think that looks pretty good. Let me come down below again. As far as the fit, that looks pretty good. I wanted to make sure, let's get this. Now, this black piece still has clear. It needs to be cleared one more time, and then it has decals that need to go on also. So I need to clear it, decal, clear it again. So that could change fitment a little bit, but this is actually fitting pretty loose, so it might be good, but it is fitting in there nicely. And then I wanted to also, let's place the bumper and see how all this, whoops, let's put the bumper the correct way up. And it's supposed to go in, there we go. It fits nice and snug, nice and tight. Yeah, this is all pretty snug and tight. There we go. Except for the bottom piece, I'll hold that with my thumb. But I think that actually looks like everything's fitting together as it should. And that's the main thing I want to take a look at here is just fitment. So that's why I kind of saved it so we could do it together. I try to do some things, live and together with you guys. So when it goes bad, we all get to enjoy my failure. But actually, this went pretty well. I think that's going to look pretty good. So I think I'm going to go ahead and move forward with the front end of this. And that's actually holding in there nice. And when I say that, I mean actually finishing out the grille, starting to polish all the paintwork, all that stuff. And I feel like I can move forward. Oh, you know what we should look at, and I forgot to pull the piece for this too, is the back, which there's not a lot to it. Basically, it just has this kind of roll pan that fits back here. I don't have, this back bumper is actually chrome. And I haven't really started messing with the chrome pieces yet, or chrome parts. I think it's going to need, this I think needs the bumper to actually, how does this go together back here? I think it actually needs the bumper to attach, because I think it goes, yeah, I think the bumper goes on first and then this piece, but it looks like it's going to fit in there. Like nothing looks warped or out of shape or anything. That looks like it's how it's gonna go. So I think we're okay back there. Oh, I know something I want to mention before we move on from this is the rearview mirrors. It's inevitable I forget things. So I forgot all about the rearview mirrors, and it would have made sense to have gone ahead and installed the rearview mirrors before I cleared this, but I did not. So I'm going to clear these separate with the black pieces that I still got to add clear to. It does make it easier to polish out the body without having these, sticking out in the way, I guess. But my fear now is gluing these in place, because we're gluing the clear on top of clear. I might have to take, what I'm going to probably have to do is take, I can obviously just sand this side of the mirrors flat, and I'll probably take just a X-Acto and just scrape down to the plastic to give me something to glue to, and then just very carefully do it. I mean, it's the same thing. We've got to put in door handles. There's chrome door handles. I mean, there's other parts we're going to have to do this with. I just hate that I forgot about the rearview mirror. Anyways, that's something we got to take care of. I've also started doing the amber lights for the front end, for the front grille pieces. So painting in the amber. We've got the side markers here. I don't know how well you guys can see them. The side markers, which will go down below in here. And then the way I'm doing, so the cleared pieces are easy. You just paint the back side. This is, let's see, this is actually the front. Let me bring them down here. So this is actually the front. And then I'm just painting, obviously, the clear amber on the back. I guess to me, that's the best way to do it. With the chrome parts, you can't do that. So what I'm doing is just kind of loading it up with I'd loaded it up with the amber, or it's orange clear, or what is it called? I forget what this is called. Clear orange. There we go. With the clear orange, which basically is amber. And then I just take a rag and wipe it out the high spots so we get our chrome back. And I think I'm going to do that one more time to get a nice solid fill there, and then we can get that into the grill. Now, the last thing I wanted to look at, that's basically where we're at with the body so far, which I think looks pretty good. I think we can move forward with polishing, start polishing the paint out to get rid of just a little bit. In fact, let's look at it one more time. Let's look at it down here. There is just a little bit of orange peel. If this was a 1-to-1 car, like if this was a full-size car, I don't even know if I'd consider it orange peel. Did I say peach peel? Orange peel. Whatever. Imperfection, bumpiness in the paint. It is so slight. This U-Pol paint I'm actually pretty impressed with. So I think I'm just going to polish. I don't think I'm even really... Maybe I'll do one wet sand with, I don't know, 5,000 grit or something. I don't know, but I think I might just try to just polish it out and just go with it, quite honestly. But the last thing I wanted to update on is the chassis. Got back to work on the chassis. Let's see, what do we do? One, I had to fix this. You can see I've got a clamp on here. I had to fix this at some point, and I didn't notice. The front side of this, what is this? The passenger side leaf spring had come loose and was sitting up high, sitting up at the frame rail height, and then glued in place. And I didn't realize that. So I had to break that loose and re-glue it in place. And I've got that clamp now, so it'll glue down there where it's supposed to be, because I got to make sure these axle points are right. Because this is going to set our rear wheel alignment, however you want to say it, at height, where our body sits, which we're going to base the front end off of. So we got to make sure this is right back here. And I took a look, and where our leaf springs are sitting with our anti-roll bar are pretty much, let me see if I can show you down here if there's enough light. We've got the same amount of gap. So I've got to go in and put a little piece to tie in the anti-roll bar to the leaf springs, and they're equal now. So I'm pretty confident that our axle is sitting level back here. Pretty confident. It looks crooked to me. I don't know how that is the case. Can you guys see because the anti sway bar is connected to the frame, and they really do look. Maybe this side's a little closer. I mean, but actually I feel like this side. Let me look at this here. It might just be the way it is. You know what I mean? I don't know. We're going to have to look a little closer, because everything seems to be... The shocks are lining up. Everything's lining up. I need to find a way. Let me look at them. Let me look at it here in relation to the door seal here. It's hard to tell, isn't it? It's hard to tell, but it should be right. I should be able to, this distance here, it just looks close. This distance here, to me, looks less than this distance here, for sure. Even though everything, I don't know if this frame rail just goes, I don't know. Well, you know what we'll probably do is do one, we'll install it in the body and take one look. But anyways, let me get back to what we were talking about. I did weather up the exhaust a little bit. To finish off my thought there, I'm going to take a closer look at this because I do think this might be a little off, even though we've got everything fixed and everything seems to line up. It just seems, anyways, yeah, I'll take a closer look at it. But I did start weathering up the exhaust just a little bit. Again, I wanted to make it look like it's used, not abused kind of thing. So we just got a little bit of weathering in here, like it actually gets driven and used. I did some touch-up paints on the black just to give it some variety in the color of the black where that's been touched up by the owner. I still need to work out the front end as far as its weathering, but that'll be nice and easy. I touched up some of the paint back here on the gas tank to get that to look a little cleaner. I think looks a little cleaner, and I'll probably add a little weathering to the gas tank. The tailpipes I'm going to leave, I think, pretty much like they are, because that's something that, you know, when you keep clean on your car, your dual exhaust and your tips coming out, you keep that nice and clean. So I'm going to keep those kind of clean, not too dirty looking. But this is about as far as I'm going with it. I don't want to make this look like it's been an ignored under chassis. I just want to make sure it looks like it's a used under chassis, if that makes sense. And last thing I wanted to talk about, I finally found the cross member that we had cut out to make this engine and transmission fit. If you remember right, it actually used to go, kind of hard to believe, but it used to sit right there, right across where our pan is now. We need it to scoot back and fit here, but we've got kind of a major issue because I forgot about it, and it's, I installed everything having forgot about it. So now we've got to somehow figure out how we're going to get this underneath the exhaust. And I don't want to disassemble the exhaust and disassemble everything. Obviously I don't want to pull that all apart. We've got it done, but I do need this cross member in here. So what I think I'm probably going to have to do, I think the solution, one, we're going to have to thin it out. But what I think I'm going to have to do is cut it. Let me come down here and show you. I think I'll cut it. What can I point with? I'm going to cut it here. Let me get the black. There we go. I'm going to cut it here and here. I'll thin this all out underneath here. And then hopefully I'll be able to take and slide this centerpiece in right there, and then bring the two outside pieces in to meet it. And then we'll have our cross member that's going to sit right there. That's the plan. Now, of course, I got to paint it all, do all that kind of stuff too. So I'm going to try to do that tonight. But I think I'm going to absolutely have to, because there's not a lot of space in between the exhaust and the chassis, the chassis, but actually in between the exhaust and the tail piece of the transmission. Oh, excuse me. And yeah, I think I'm going to have to really just thin it out. And that'll give us that impression, at least, that there's a cross member there. Anyways, so that's all the stuff's been going on. Hopefully I've got all the computer issues now. I know last episode I talked about, I thought I had it all settled out, and then I went and messed with it, and it completely shut down. Anyways, I had to completely pull my laptop back apart, put it back together. I think I've got it back working. Still in the background working on a new desktop to actually be the permanent solution. But I think we've got it settled out. I don't want to promise anything, so videos might be sporadic, but hopefully they will be more consistent. Anyways, this video has gone a little long because I had quite a bit to update you on, because I've been trying to still work in the background. Got a good bit to go here. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Check the description down below, by the way, if you want to get caught up. There's always a playlist down there. Leave a like if you would. If you've enjoyed this, hit that like button. It's free to do. It helps the channel. Those comments really help too. So let me know what you think. Subscribe if you want to keep up with this. Usually these episodes aren't so long and long-winded. So in the future, hopefully they won't I won't be as rambly. But anyways, hit that subscribe button if you want to keep up. I don't know, ring the bell, do all those things everybody tells you to do on YouTube, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.